Tales of Mithrym.
Den of Thieves, read by Skye, Part 4, Storyteller. The three of them made their way up through the town towards the schoolhouse. Outside it, they could see a large number of children running about and playing, while two adults were watching them and occasionally intervening in disputes. "Excuse me," Elvin called out as they got near. One of the teachers made their way over. "Can I help you? This may sound a bit odd, but we are looking into last night's burglary. We noticed a child running away at the time. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions." "A child? What? In the middle of the night? Come on in. I don't know what you think you saw, but none of us lets our children out after dark round here. It's not safe, but go ahead and ask your questions." Elvin and Derville followed the teacher inside. Ducky made to follow, but as he did, he noticed that a lot of the children had run over and were eyeing up the sword slung across his back. He smiled his broad smile. "Hello there," he called to them. Then with a flourish, he drew the blade. The children whooped and cheered. He spun it high to more cheering and a round of applause. The other teacher looked somewhat disapprovingly at him. "Sorry," he said with a slight grimace, and resheathed his sword. The children all moaned and began to sulk as they turned back to their play. Ducky thought for a moment. He was not enjoying playing detective and felt much happier with an audience. Let the others ask the questions. "Tell you what," he said with a smile. The children turned back to look at him. "If your teacher doesn't mind, how about I tell you all a story?" The children cheered and ran over to him. Ducky sat down. The teacher came over and stood near as he began. "This is one my granny used to tell me. She was good at stories, was my granny. Let's see if I can get it right." He put on the air of a storyteller and continued. "In the beginning, Mother Emu was jealous. She was angry because Ian had given his children so many wonderful things that Emu had thought were hers, and she wanted them back. She could not take them back, though, for Ian had blessed his children. So Emu vowed to cause trouble for the children of Ian, and she became mother to all sorts of strange monsters. She made them all to look like the children of Ian, or at least to what she believed the children of Ian to look like. She made kobolds, goblins, and orcs. Goblins were the most like us, standing about our height and having clever, strong hands that they could use to wield weapons, just like us. But Mother Emu gave goblins snouts like pigs." At this point, Ducky began to oink, much to the laughter of the children around him. "And ears like foxes." Ducky then screeched like a fox on the hunt. "And fuzzy heads like bunnies." He then pulled up his hands in front of him and screwed up his face in an impression of a hopping rabbit. The children around were roaring and squeaking with laughter. Ducky hushed his voice as he continued. "But they were mean, you see, and she sent them out into Mithrym to cause trouble. There was one particularly wicked and miserable goblin that came all the way to Angmark, and he lived under a big stone bridge not far from here, a long, long, long time ago." The children stopped laughing and drew in, their faces pictures of curiosity and intrigue. Ducky continued. "Now, this particular goblin—" "What was his name?" a child broke in excitedly, raising her hand as she asked. "His name?" Ducky thought fast. "Eric." "Eric the Goblin?" The girl looked puzzled and suspicious of this answer. All around her, the children began laughing again, and she soon joined them. Cries and shouts of Eric the Goblin erupted from the other children as Ducky roared a laugh as well. "As I was saying," he said with a smile, "Eric the Goblin was especially tricky. He liked to jump out at travelers and surprise them, and on one particular day, he noticed a man walking towards his bridge, so he hid as best he could and just as the man came walking up, stomp, stomp, stomp. Here, Ducky stomped his own feet to demonstrate. Eric jumped out and landed right in front of him. The children gasped. Tell me, son of Ian, what do you want from the Goblin Green? Well, the man was scared, as I'm sure you would be too. No, I wouldn't, shouted one of the children. Ducky smiled. The others shushed them, and Ducky continued. Well, this man was scared anyway, and he said, Oh no, oh no, oh please, 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 don't steal my purse, O Goblin Green. Now the goblin winked and said with a smile, Oh, I promise you I won't steal your purse. But as the man went to walk on, the goblin pinched at him and grabbed the man's purse. The man was so shaken that he ran away back down the lane. Gasps came up from the children. But he promised! Ducky winked and continued. So Eric laughed and hit again just as someone else came walking up. This time it was a lady. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Ducky stomped his feet again. Eric jumped out again and landed right in front of her. The children gasped again. Tell me, daughter of Ian, what do you want from the Goblin Green? Well, the woman was scared just like the man before. Oh no, oh please, please, please. Don't steal my jewels, O Goblin Green. One of the children, who seemed to be thinking hard, began. Oh no, he's going to, but was quickly shushed by the others. Now the goblin winked and said with a smile, Oh, I promise you, I won't steal your jewels. But as the lady went to walk on, the goblin pinched at her and grabbed her jewels. The lady was so shaken that she ran away back down the lane. The children drew closer in towards Ducky. So, he continued. Eric laughed and hit again, just as someone else came walking up. This time it was not one someone, but two someones. A boy and a girl. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Ducky stomped his feet. Eric jumped out again and landed right in front of them. The children gasped. Tell me, children of Ian, what do you want from the Goblin Green? Now the children were clever, and they listened at school, and they knew that when Mother Emu made her children, she taught them to only ever tell lies. So they looked at each other, then back to the goblin, and said, Oh no, oh please, please, please. Don't jump off the bridge, O Goblin Green. The children fell silent as they thought about this. Oh, I promise you, I won't jump off the bridge. And then, as the children made to cross, old Eric hopped up onto the edge of the bridge and leapt down. Ducky made a whistling sound as of a massive weight falling a long way down. Splash! Into the river below, and the children crossed the bridge. The children around Ducky laughed and clapped and cheered. Just then, Elvin and Derville came back out of the schoolhouse, followed by the teacher. Uh-oh, Ducky said with a smile. It looks like I'm off again. The children groaned. But can't we have another story? Sorry. Ducky smiled again. Duty calls. The children cheered and waved as the three made their way back down towards the docks. So, what did you find out? Ducky asked.
Tales of Mithrym are written by Jimmy Clephane. Mithrym is a fantasy world built for the Dungeon Room role-playing game system. To find out more about the world of Mithrym, or to try out the game, go to www.mithrym.com.